So I was lucky to go to South by Southwest Tech Conference this year. I go every year. And what I was doing there this year was really looking at how brands are using community, how tech is helping us connect with communities, and how we might build communities as well in the future. This year, we're at the point of a paradigm shift, like the beginning of a new era, as we both move from Web 2 to Web 3, but also with the advent of AI really becoming big. It feels like we could be at the end of the internet as we know it. The case study that everyone's talking about, which is for Starbucks, obviously a huge brand, has one of the biggest loyalty schemes already in the world. They've actually just launched a Web 3 version of their loyalty scheme. What's interesting about the new Starbucks Odyssey member scheme is not only is it underpinned by blockchain technology and NFTs, it doesn't actually mention that. Don't need to have crypto wallet to be able to participate in it. It's just a mainstream loyalty scheme. But what's interesting is that these tokens that you're essentially collecting for your actions, online, offline, in store, can be exchanged. They have a value. You can sell them for cash monetary value. But it's really about encouraging participation, engagement, and more deep levels of loyalty with the brand for people that really want to engage with that community. It's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out in the next year. The other thing that was talked about a bit was DAOs, or decentralized autonomous organizations. So these are sort of community-owned organizations. I won't call it a company. Again, underpinned by blockchain technology and NFTs. Someone described it to me as a bit like a group chat with a bank account attached to it. Kift DAO, who are a van life organisation. They're encouraging people to work from anywhere, from a van in an amazing location around the world, perhaps looking to fundraise to do this DAO and buy land. They can have van parks on in the USA, allowing anyone that's a token owner to have access to those properties, have a share in it, and have a voting right in what happens to the organisation. So it's kind of like decentralising the decision making of an organisation. Bit of an experiment, but find it absolutely fascinating when you think about these new brands and new business models that are being created using this technology. Greg Brockman, who's founder of OpenAI, did paint a very optimistic view of AI being a tool or an assistant or a partner that us humans will be able to use. He said it's not going to replace your jobs, it's going to give you a promotion. However, that was also caveated by futurologists who are fearing potentially catastrophic outcomes for our use of artificial intelligence in the world. It's going to grow at an exponential rate and much, much faster than governments and regulators will be able to keep up. So really, really interesting to see how EU, in fact UK, are also leaning into looking at regulation or just making sure that AI is not continuing unchecked. Quantum computing was a big theme. We're standing here by the IUM quantum computing machine. It just means super-powered computing that's going to find breakthroughs faster. Potentially there's a really amazing implication for climate change and how it might be able to read vast amounts of data faster to help us make better decisions. My final message, probably as we're talking to the marketing society, thinking about brands, it's about making sure you've got an understanding of the technologies for your organisation. So if someone asks you what metaverse is, you've got your equivalent of it. Now, definitions vary, that's totally fine. And thinking about what your long-term implications might be. So I think it's particularly interesting for brands and businesses that perhaps own IP. Think about communities, not just users or consumers, but think about groups of people that share attitudes, values, beliefs, context, and they're connected to each other. I think it's really interesting when you think about connecting people to each other and connecting them to brands more deeply, what that might mean for your business and how you could fuel growth through connecting your brand to its community better.